All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this video. My name is Taylor Bentud, and we're going to talk about the biggest business mistakes I've ever made. This video idea came from Usman. Hopefully I'm pronouncing your name correctly, brother. But there's 4 on the whiteboard that I would like to discuss with you. And I think that there's some valuable lessons that can come out of this that will help you avoid these mistakes and grow your business much faster than I did, because I didn't have someone telling me that these are mistakes. So the 4 mistakes that we made here on the whiteboard. Number 1 is AMS Radar. This is a venture I created, a software reporting company. We'll talk about that. Number 2, almost killing BetterAMS. I actually almost killed our agency on purpose because of Sam Evans, which I actually talked about, and we'll just briefly touch on that again. Number 3 is exiting an amazing company very prematurely. That company was called the PPC AMS Accelerator. It's still here. You can go to the website. I'll show an image somewhere here. And number 4 is just not saving my money in the first 2 to 3 years of operating, and that one was the biggest mistake of them all. So first of all, AMSradar.com, the big lesson from this was that the agency at the time was only doing $30,000, $35,000 per month, and I had tons of ideas. It's funny, when you start making a little bit of money and you're young and it's the first time you start making a little bit of money, the first thing you want to do is start like 4,000 other ventures. At least that's how it was for me. I don't recommend doing that. The big lesson is like, look, if you're 18 months into a new business, that thing is literally still a newborn baby in the womb, like day 2, hasn't even really turned into anything. Don't go and try to start 10,000 other businesses, especially if it's the first business that you've ever built, because there's just so much that you learn in the process of scaling a business that I would say maybe now that it's been 4 years, I would feel really comfortable about launching another venture. There's only 2 ventures that I have. 95% of my time goes into BetterAMS, 5% goes into Agency Enlightened, which is a course helping agency owners. And that's pretty much it. But at the time, I was not ready, and I spent and burned through, I think, $25,000 or $30,000. And the time that I lost was much more valuable than the money. Okay, but the money hurt slightly at the time, but the time that was lost was months, and it was a nightmare. Although that the software company had sales, it was doing about, I don't know, $1,000 per month after like a month of launching it. It just wasn't something that I was really like passionate about building. I didn't have the time for building, so shouldn't have done it. Number 2, almost killing BetterAMS. That was because I was in a mastermind with Sam Evans, and I've spoken about this in the previous video with him. If you haven't seen it, it's one of the top performing videos on our YouTube channel. But basically what happened was I went to this mastermind. I'm talking to Sam. The agency at the time is doing, I think, $40,000 per month, and I asked him, I said, you know, we have this agency doing $40,000 per month. We have this course teaching other, like basically what it was doing, it was teaching companies on Amazon how to manage their own advertising on Amazon. So we basically took our agency, which was done for you Amazon advertising management, which is what BetterAMS does, and we decided to develop and turn our knowledge into a course. Now that course that we were selling at the time, when I asked Sam Evans this question, it did $60,000 that month when I asked Sam Evans this question, and it was the 4th month of that venture. Okay, so put this in context. I had the agency for about 2-3 years. I think it's 2 or 3 years. I had this course for about 4 months, and the course is doing more revenue than the agency. Okay, now Sam's immediate answer is, oh, just get rid of the agency. Like, just slowly, you know, as clients leave, just get rid of them, you know, or just you know, let them churn, and don't try to scale the agency, because this course thing is going to scale so much faster. So that's what I ended up doing. But then BetterAMS slowly started to get down to 0, and it pretty much, the lowest it hit, I think, was about $14,000 or $15,000 in revenue. And that's when I was just like, you know what, this is ridiculous. I always started having feelings of like, this is not good. There's people that work here. But so I was keeping an eye on it, because there was a girl in there who was running it, Destiny. She's amazing, and she was fortunately able to continue to scale that agency back from like $15,000 to like $30,000 a month. It took her some time, and then I decided to hop into the agency and go all into the agency right around that time when we went back from 15 to 30, and now this month we'll do, I think, around just over 100. But the point is that I almost killed the agency, and that was just lack of my own self-judgment. I was trusting someone completely blindly without any form of, I thought about it, but honestly, it was mainly just blind trust. So don't blindly trust someone, even if that person's making, $30-40 million a year selling courses, whatever it is. I mean, Sam Evans is a smart guy, but he does not like scaling agencies. He's never scaled an agency to an amazing level, but he has scaled a course. So to the man with a hammer, everything looks like a nail. I didn't really understand all the different psychology, biases, and whatnot that were going on, but looking back, that was a huge mistake. Number 3, like I said, exiting an amazing company prematurely. That company, that PPCMS Accelerator that I was, that course teaching sellers on Amazon how to manage their own Amazon advertising, when Sam said, just basically get rid of the agency, scale the course, in general, at that time of my life, this whole video is turning into a huge rant, but I mean, I guess that's what happens when you accept to make a video on the biggest mistakes you've made in business. That time of my life, I didn't really have much, I kind of lost like motivation for everything, and I was kind of just looking for the next shiny object. Because I was between the agency and the course, it was around $100,000 per month revenue coming in between these two companies. So there's more finances coming in that I could possibly imagine to spend. Like I don't live a super luxurious, lavish lifestyle. So for me, it's like, okay, like paying myself literally like $5,000-10,000 a month. $10,000 a month, like I don't need more than that to live an insane great lifestyle and have like a chef, a maid, a personal trainer, a really great place with a great view, an amazing whatever, everything that I need, fantastic. You don't need more than that, although some people live on way more than that, but for me, I didn't. So I reached everything that I wanted financially, and I just thought, and then there's this emptiness, and I think that, what I'm doing is the reason why there's this emptiness. And that, it's Amazon advertising. I don't like this thing anymore. I've been doing it for 2-3 years. I want to do something else. And I prematurely left that company, and in its infancy, like in the peak of scale. And the way I left it also wasn't the smartest way to leave it. I mean, normally when you exit a company, there's an evaluation of the company and you get paid out on an evaluation. I was just like, hey, whatever's in the bank, we're going to split this 50-50, fantastic. Because I was just like, I don't want to go through the process. I just want to get out of this thing. Now, I don't regret it, because doing all of that stuff, again, has led me to where I am today. So I'm thankful that these mistakes had happened, because I don't know if I'd be where I am right now because of those decisions. But in retrospect, I think that perfect, if I could go back and perfectly make decisions, I would have made that exit a little bit differently. I probably would have spoke to my partner and said like, hey, I have this weird emptiness inside. I don't know where this is coming from. I don't know if it's a lack of interest in Amazon advertising, or if it's that I want to do something else. I don't know. I'm going to need some time to figure this out. I just want to let you know I'm probably not going to be working as much as I am. I'm going to take 2-3 hours a day. Instead of working 12 hours, I'm going to work 9 for the next few weeks, and just meditate and go within myself to be able to understand where this type of emptiness is coming from. I didn't have that level of consciousness at that time. I was not as aware of myself, and just my level of consciousness was not there. So again, if I could go back in time, fantastic, I would do that. And looking back, the emptiness wasn't coming from what I was doing, because now I'm spending 95% of my time working on this same agency that I thought was bringing me zero happiness, and it's bringing me ridiculous amounts of joy when I work on this agency. We're really going down the rabbit hole here, but let's just continue. I'm already down the rabbit hole really far. The agency now brings me so much joy, and it's partly, I believe that there's a few elements that cause this emptiness. One, I definitely needed to get a better mindset. I needed to just be at peace with myself and release the materialistic desire. Okay, so at that time there was still just this, not even materialistic desire, but just this desire to reach ungodly amounts of like monthly revenue. Like I just wanted to get to like $1 million a month. There was no real reason. There was no why. There was no mission. There was no vision. It was just, let's just get to $1 million a month. But then like we reached 100,000 a month, and I was like, between these two companies, and I was like, okay, I know that 1 million is a month. If I'm feeling the way I'm feeling now at 100,000 a month, I'm not going to feel much better at 1 million. In fact, I think I'm probably going to feel worse. So something else needs to change here. And basically what had changed was we got clear on a vision and a mission for BetterAMS. We started hiring amazing people that I really enjoyed working with. Not to say that at the other venture there wasn't amazing people. It was just me and my partner Sean, and I love the guy to death. He's amazing. But more people is definitely, oh my God, it makes business so fun when you have more people. I just can't. It's hard to describe how much better it is. It's infinitely better. Okay, it's not 10x or 2x or 3x. Infinitely better when you're working with a lot of brilliant people that you really enjoy to work with, okay? So that was huge. The people aspect in the agency, because prior to that, there was some people, but it was mainly myself and some amazing people in the Philippines, but it wasn't much of a deep connection between us. And so having the deeper connection with people that are culturally speaking more aligned with how I am, that was amazing. Now we have 13 or 14 people in BetterAMS, 6 of which are from, countries like Canada, United States, New Zealand. One guy's from Guatemala, but culturally speaking, we're all very similar, and that's amazing. So that helped a lot. Okay. Anyways, getting out of this rabbit hole, the emptiness stuff, it may not be coming from what you're doing. It may be coming from a lack of awareness of what's within, and just realizing, okay, maybe there's no mission, maybe there's no greater purpose for what you're doing, and that's why there's a lack. There's an emptiness. Okay. Fortunately, or unfortunately, the teacher that I had at the time, Sam, didn't say, you know what, you should meditate and go within and try to figure out if this is truly you don't like what you're doing, or if it's a matter of there's something missing in what you're doing. Okay, that would have been a fantastic question, but he didn't ask me that. So number 4, not saving money. For the first 2 to 3 years, man, I was just spending cash left and right. I was not managing finances well. Just absolutely terrible. I would say 95% of the money I was of the revenue coming in was being spent. Now, it wasn't being spent on ridiculous, lavish stuff. I worked very hard for the first 2 to 3 years, like insanely, on levels that make it unproductive. Okay, there was so much diminishing returns happening when you work 16 hours a day every day for like 2-3 years straight. It's not good. You need to take time off, and I took like 1 vacation for like 5-6 days, and it was not good. Don't do that. But not saving money, it is just spending money on a lot of courses, spending money, like you don't need 20 courses. You don't need to spend $120,000 on courses, okay? There's, in most cases, you can find one really damn good course, one really damn good person who has experienced the level that you want to get to, and just stick with that person and leverage the time that you have with them. Not trying to get into like self-promotion here, but with Agency Enlightened, if I could have myself to speak to 4 or 5 years ago and just troubleshoot all the questions, it would be like, dude, our agency would be doing, I don't know, maybe 800,000 a month, maybe 1 million a month. I don't know. At least triple what we're doing now. I would make a guess. I would bet on that. But anyways, not saving money. Just save your money. Don't be ridiculous and spend it on lots of different things. Pay yourself a salary. I wish someone would have taught me this as well. I didn't pay myself a salary, so it was kind of just like, okay, whenever I needed money in my bank account, I would just take it out of the business bank account. Now, first of all, that sucks from like an accounting standpoint. But second of all, it's just a stupid thing to do. Don't do it. Pay yourself a set salary every month. Decide what it is. Decide what you need to be able to never have to pay yourself more than that, and get it done, okay? Because it makes accounting better, and 2, it holds you accountable, because you should set it and then keep it that way for as long as you possibly can. Now, within BetterAMS, one other thing that you can do, which we've done, which is fantastic, is OBM, which is open book management, where everyone in the company gets to see the books. So there's 14 people in our company. Most of them, not all of them, our team in the Philippines doesn't see this, but our team in like Canada and United States and New Zealand and Guatemala and myself, they see this stuff, and they get an email every day. They know how much money is in the bank. They know how much money left the bank yesterday. They know how much money came into the bank yesterday. And the numbers are all there. It's in a spreadsheet. Everyone can look at that and see. Now, if I just randomly pull out $10,000 because I want to go on a first class flight and I can't afford that because my salary is at this level and I just like, I need this 10 grand so I can go on a first class flight. First of all, I would never do that. But second of all, if I did do something like that, or my whole team would freak out, there'd be a lot of trouble and they would they'd beat my ass to say the least because I can't do that. We have profit margin goals that if we hit, everyone gets a bonus. And if I just go do something like that, I could ruin it for everyone. And so it's a great thing. It holds you as the entrepreneur, you as the owner accountable to manage your finances well. Okay. Now, if it's just you and you don't have a team that can hold you accountable, like I said, pay yourself a salary, save your money. Ideally, you can have profit margins of at least 25% and never deviate below that, unless you have a solid war chest, a solid treasure chest of cash, a solid runway that goes for at least a year and a half. If you have a year and a half's worth of cash in the bank, depending on your burn rate, like your runway, let's say is a year and a half, fantastic. What I would say is that, you can push your margins down to 5-10%. I would never go in the red personally, as of right now. That's just a personal decision. I mean, some companies do, but I don't think our runway is big enough to justify going in the red for some R&D or whatever it might be. Okay, so those are the 4 big mistakes. This is a giant rant, but hopefully it was somewhat helpful. Usman, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Please let me know because I don't want to pronounce your name incorrectly. Hey, also, if you have video ideas, this idea came from a previous video where I was asking for ideas. If you have ideas, let me know in the comment section below. I will screenshot your comment, tag you in the next video that I make, and answer your question because I need help. I need to know what I can talk about, what I can post about. So your ideas are much appreciated. Hit that subscribe button. This channel might be at 1,000 subs. I don't know because I'm recording this video on Saturday, August 29th. I'm probably going to release it Friday next week or maybe Wednesday. But the point is that we might be at 1,000 subs, but we're not right now. Hit that button. Let's get to 1,000 subs. Thank you guys so much. Much love. Ciao.